Welcome back. And Family First today, we're talking about the big changes coming to schools when it comes to wearing masks. Starting today, the mandatory mask mandate will be over and the decision is going to be left to individual towns and cities. And a lot of them have decided to make masks optional. While a lot of students and parents welcome this change, it is also the cause of anxiety for others and maybe even a source of conflict within families. So here to talk about how we can help kids maneuver this new situation, Niro Feliciano is joining us. She's a family psychotherapist. Niro, great to have you with us. Thanks again for being with us.
Oh, my pleasure, and an important conversation to have today for sure.
Yeah, Niro, for the last almost 2 years, kids have had to mask up in the classroom if they were in school. And now that's going to be optional for a lot of schools and kids. It could bring up a whole myriad of feelings and potential conflicts for families as well. What's the best way to approach this change to help our kids?
Well, it's a great question. And even as an anxiety therapist, my two younger kids have already said, we're not taking the masks off. So anxiety is normal. And what we have to understand is we're changing the messaging literally overnight for these kids, a message that they've really adapted to. They've associated masks with safety. So it's important that we have conversations and really explore what they're feeling, validate whatever feelings they have, saying it's normal to be anxious if you're feeling that way, and then provide them with information that will help them acclimate to whatever decision is right for your family. And most importantly, reassure them of their safety.
Now, it can be really difficult. Some families may be split on the issues, which can be tough. Mom and dad may not agree, or maybe more likely parents and kids may not agree. What do we do in those situations?
You know, that changes depending on the age of the kids, but it's important to understand, where are these reactions coming from? How are we making these decisions? Is this a gut reaction that we're making out of a feeling because we're used to doing something for so long? So asking the question, not necessarily why are we making this decision, but what's making us make this decision, so we can have conversations about where everyone's coming from. And one thing to remember about teenagers, they want to be like their peers. So if they're making a different decision than perhaps what the parents are making, it's important that we support them, we empower them to make that right decision, giving them the information that they need and hearing them out.
What do we need to remind our kids about when it comes to friends and families who have made choices that are different from theirs?
Right. It's important to understand, for everyone to understand, that this is an individual decision and everyone's going to make the decision that's right for their family. And we don't know the whole story as to why someone's making a decision. Maybe they have an immunocompromised adult or child. But to reassure kids that even if their decision looks different, their decision is not wrong. Neither is the other family that's making a different decision.
Yeah. Now, I think we as parents, we really hope our kids speak up if they see someone is being mistreated because maybe of their choice to wear a mask or not wear a mask. But some children may not know how to speak up. They've never been faced with that kind of confrontation. So what can we tell our children to help them out if they are faced with that type of situation?
Yeah, this is an important question because this situation has potential for teasing and bullying, and I think more for kids who continue to wear masks right now. So I think it's important that we prepare them that that situation may occur and they may witness it, even if it doesn't happen to them, and give them the appropriate language and permission to use it in that situation. So you can say to them, it's important that we stand up for our friends if people are being teased. Let them know, hey, you know what? It's okay. It's okay if someone wants to wear a mask. It's okay if they don't. Everyone has to make the right decision for themselves, and maybe parallel it to times where they've made a different decision, whether, for example, whether or not to watch that scary movie. So they understand that this is kind of a normal process in life, and we're going to face it in other situations as well.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where it may be okay to, or maybe a good idea to sort of role play and give them options on what they could say if they're in that situation.
Absolutely. Role playing is very powerful. It gives them ownership of a situation. It helps them identify it. And then practicing it builds their confidence. So big fan of role playing.
Absolutely. Niro, thank you so much for being with us and helping us walk through these changes and giving us some great advice on what we can do to help our kids.
Anytime. Happy to be here.
All right, great. Great to see you. Thanks again.
You too.